Hello again, John Merrifield, serious academics with a sense of humor. The fun, including finding my finger on the screen, the fun never ends unless you let it. Don't let it. All right, so this little snippet will be about stadiums. And I don't know if you watched the other videos, but if you did there, the issue was often peak versus off-peak. I guess stadiums are subject to the same kind of thing. The peak would be the really popular performances that go on in there, and the off-peak is the not-so-popular performances. All right, and then some other issues on the side with stadiums. Typically, there's no additional cost to admit an additional person. What's going on in the stadium is a public good up to the capacity of the stadium. So what you're looking to do is to maximize the revenue, right? Marginal cost is 0 for a ticket. Marginal revenue is 0 when the total revenue is maximized. So typically that's what you're looking to do. You're looking for a facility that is typically big enough to sell the tickets that would result from the revenue maximizing price level. And the other thing that's going on with a stadium is that there's value generated to the sellout or near sellout issue. Basketball teams typically play in a stadium, football teams, big stadium. They like the stadium to be full for the noise level, to give them a bigger home team advantage. And performers, they like to talk about selling places out. They don't like to say, oh, I went to the Alamo Dome in San Antonio and I managed to fill up 20,000 seats in a $65,000 seat stadium. Now, they'd rather be in an 18,000 foot arena, 18,000 foot, see, I'm thinking mountains, 18,000 seat arena, and say, I sold the place out. And it was a rocking crowd rather than kind of an empty cavern kind of a deal. Okay, so there's an ambiance issue. Okay, and then also there are other revenues associated with people attending events. The biggie, of course, is the ticket revenues, but there's parking. They bought popcorn and beer and other things, and so when you get them in the stadium, you get those profits as well. So that's to be taken into consideration. And I see from my graph, which I was just about to put up, I see that I did it again. I forgot to label the y-axis before I even show it to you. Okay, I will label it. Okay, so there it is. Okay, so there's the stadium issue. And for those of you who have seen my lectures on renewable resources, it looks a lot like that. In fact, yeah, I've adapted those graphs. This one I drew from scratch at times to save drawing, because you see the key issue here is that for higher average levels of demand, suddenly the ambiance issue settles in, so that if you were to price where marginal benefit equals marginal cost in the short run, you might want a little bigger stadium to sell a few more tickets and to maximize the total revenue in some cases. But if you did that for a lot of the events, you'd have a lot of empty seats and you'd have unhappy superstars, sports, performing, singing, whatever they do in that stadium, thinking, man, I'm not going to spend my career coming to this place and play to a half full audience. Okay, so that says that if you build the stadium to just sort of the event by event considerations of maximizing revenue, you build a bigger facility than the optimal one, which is at Q star, where the marginal private benefit equals the marginal private cost in the long run, and you'd have a little bit of a deadweight loss right there if you built Q1 prime. Okay, for those of you who haven't followed along in the other videos, when I put an apostrophe, that's called a prime. Q1 prime is the short run optimizing stadium size. Smaller stadiums, oops, wrong way, no problem. It's small enough so that even if it was 2/3 or whatever full, it wouldn't make that much difference to the ambiance level in there. But a big stadium, it would. Okay, so there's the essence of the stadium issue, at least from that perspective. There are other issues of public versus private and ticket scalping and all of that are interesting, but they're beyond the scope of this video.